When it comes to clothes, many of us find various ways to get inspired to design a nice product. But there are some who don't really put in the work or effort and just look at a design and just simply copy every element about it and then feed it off to their customers without any uniqueness, flair, color, alterations added to it. So I raised the question, are you copying other people's designs or are you inspired by? Copycatting and inspired by are two approaches to creating or designing something, but in this case, we are talking about clothes, shoes, and fashion accessories. Inspiration is a form of copycatting, but in which the qualities of the competitor are used to create an entirely new product or service. So here are the differences between the two. When you are copying designs, this means you are replicating someone else's work or design without any market research, customer consideration, or development, significant changes, or edits. It may seem like the easy way to getting money in the beginning, but in the long run, this will not benefit your business at all, which we will get into a little bit later. Some people who I come across that copy designs often lack drive, integrity, or creativity. Copying someone else's work without authorization may infringe upon intellectual property rights and can be considered unethical or even illegal. When you find inspiration from someone else's designs, this will entail inspiration. I like to say this goes hand in hand with influence. As creatives, it's like something ignited within you to start drawing or putting together context or colors or building out a storyline or a color palette from an already existing work or source of inspiration that comes out as a totally new creation. Usually when creatives see an inspiration, it's like a starting point to develop something unique or original. So they'll take, maybe they found the way that something was stitched or how something was placed on a garment and it got very inspired, or they loved the flower that was on the garment and then maybe they wanted to make a new garment and really elaborate on a special element that was very small on the inspiration. That is inspired by. Inspired by design show the creative process of your rendition of the design or building upon an existing idea and adding personal or unique touches as well as customer considerations if you already have an existing fashion business. When designers are inspired by existing works, they often add their own creative input, modifications, and combinations of different influences to create something fresh and distinctive. Inspired by designs, when done within legal boundaries and with respect intellectual property rights and acknowledgements, the source of inspiration. So the key differences lies within the level of originality, creativity, and respect for intellectual property rights. While fashion is one of those industries that often get the two tags inspired by or copycats, no matter what sector you are in, the latest story from a fashion e-commerce that is notable for copying designs is Shein. Sources at thefashionlaw.com reported Shein named in copyright racketeering lawsuit over alleged infringement scheme. In quote, in the newly filed lawsuit, Perez Martinez's Baran, the plaintiffs, assert there is no Coco Chanel or YSL behind the Shein empire. Rather, there is a mysterious tech genius cannot pronounce his first and last name, but aka Chris Zoon, I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce XU, who has made Shein the world's top clothing company through high technology, not high designs. In particular, the plaintiffs claim that Shein has made millions of dollars by creating a secretive algorithm that astonishingly determines fashion trends by coupling it with a corporate structure, including productions and fulfillment schemes that are properly executed to grease the wheels of the algorithm, including its savory and illegal aspects. That algorithm cannot work without generating the kinds of exact copies that can greatly damage an independent designer's career, the plaintiffs assert, noting that Shein's artificial intelligence is smart enough to misappropriate the pieces with the greatest commercial approach. When Shein copies a small or independent designers, the most likely outcome without brand protection specialists and specialized software on the lookout is the infringement will go unnoticed, the plaintiff states. Under those circumstances, Shein reamps all the benefits of stealing and featuring the designs that its technology had identified as valuable enough to take. It makes sales and keeps its customers' eyes glued to the Shein site and app for that much longer. And if customers' demand justifies it, the item is reordered and more are sold now that the coast has been determined to be clear, end quote. And so I'm going to assume they reached out to someone at Shein, but a rep for Shein Group was not immediately available for comment as per this article on thefashionlaw.com. So if you guys want to check this out, I'm going to leave a link down below. And also you can check out the case, which is open to the public for you to review if you are interested in seeing what Shein has done wrong, so you cannot fall victim to this situation. The case is Perry versus Shein Distribution Corp 2:CV-CV-05551. So what can we learn from this situation? Doing your research. I know artificial intelligence is like the hot topic, and the easiest way to kind of just scans the net. That's pretty much what AI is. It's pretty much the new way of just data scraping, and it just regurgitates whatever it finds on the web. But just really doing your work and scouring the net on who has the design, or just simply credit people. That's what it's most boiled down to. If you are inspired by something and you do your version of someone's work, but state it. You're not the first, you're not going to be the last that says, I felt very inspired by this design, and state the name of the brand, the collection. Do your work. I mean, if you read books, you see that books also do it as well in the index, where they got their sources from. Just if you feel inspired, and if your design looks exactly like it, or looks very, very similar, reminiscent, state where you got it from, so you can avoid something like this. And if you don't, then you're going to fall victim to, no, you're not even going to fall victim. You're going to fall into the situation as what Shein has gotten itself into. This brand has surpassed Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova, I was just seeing that brand all over the place, and just celebrities just endorsing it. And Shein, I don't really see any celebrities endorsing it. I just was wondering, why is Shein so popular? If you guys checked out the latest video where I state the top 5 most visited and popular fashion apparel brands in the United States, and Shein is on that list. There was no Fashion Nova, and I just find it very interesting to see Shein on that list, and that brand has not been around very often. If that brand is on there. I was just like, where are a couple of the other brands that have been around longer, or who actually cater to customers? They have a very customer centric type of business model. But those are my thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts down below? I would love to know your feedback. If you've read the article, let me know. And also, do you feel intimidated to design? Because I know some people, they get a little shooken up after seeing stuff like this. But this isn't really a U.S. based brand. So China is often always copying what is going on with the latest trends with fashion designers in United States. I definitely notified a few fashion brands that I see some of their stuff or their images even being used on like Alibaba or AliExpress app, which is pretty freaking crazy. So doing your research and just doing a heavy search. I mean, this is your work. This is like your baby. Like, a business is definitely something this is your all. This is like a second life. So taking pride into doing market research and, telling people, hey, if you see my designs, please let me know. I mean, I would appreciate that if I was a designer. I've definitely done that for a designer, like I stated earlier before. So you guys let me know. Definitely, if you liked the video, please like, share, comment down below. And also purchase your tickets for our brainstorm session, finding your ideal customer. We will be having it every third Wednesday of each month. Definitely log on to www.emergetype.com/events with an S at the end. And we will get into the details where I help you flesh out your ideas for finding your customer and aligning it with your brands, your designs, and your brand plan. All right. My name is Makara Reed. I hope you enjoyed this information, and I will talk to you guys later in the next video. Bye, y'all.